It's your boy Mac, back with some more boxing. So today, I want to talk about Terrence Crawford again. And what we got going on this time is an interview we did with Ak and Barack, where he turns around and he says some questionable things, right? So let's dissect some of the stuff he said. The first thing that he said that really struck me as odd was that Errol Spence never asked him about where the money was coming from. When he said that right there, that made me think he sounded just like a kid denying something on the spot because he knows he didn't have a real explanation for the question. He didn't have a real answer. So he was just denying it right on the spot. He didn't really think it out or anything. As soon as they asked him about it and he knew it was a question that he didn't want to answer, he said, "That's a lie. That's a lie. He didn't ask me anything like that." But then he goes on to say that he even ran it by Al. Now you want me to believe that the financial advisor is not asking where the money is coming from? And this isn't just a financial advisor, this is Errol Spence's financial advisor. So why wouldn't Al want to know where the money is coming from? If everybody is negotiating and everybody is negotiating in good faith, then you telling Al or Al asking you about the money is the same as Errol Spence asking about the money. One minute you admitted that. You was like, "Al's a charming guy, but I mean, Errol Spence is his guy. I'm not his guy. I mean, his mom's sick, and he's a charming guy." So, you turn around and you admit that he Errol Spence guy by your own admission. And then you say that you asked him about the money. And you asked Errol Spence about the money. When you couldn't talk to Errol Spence, you said, or I guess when you said you weren't getting the response you wanted from Errol Spence, that's when you went back over, to talk to Al, or so you say, or so you claim, right? So that's just funny right there, because one thing you said in the interview, you said Errol Spence was like, "What about the back end?" And you told Errol Spence, "Well, don't worry about the back end, or sign the contract, and I will tell you, whatever or however you need to know." Actually, specifically what you said was, "If you sign the contract, I'll tell you where the money came from." That's what you said, because you thought it sounded cool to try to point out that you offered so much money and somebody turned it down. See, you thinking like a worker. You thinking, let me say something that resonate with the other worker-minded people out here. I offered him so much money and he had the nerve to ask where it came from. Yeah, that's what a real boss do. They want to know where every dollar is coming from. You know what I mean? They want to know where every single dollar is coming from. No exceptions to the rules. So don't act like it's something new. Don't get too brand new out there. Because a real boss really gonna want to know what's going on, right? You know that already. And the bottom line is, you gotta play it fair too. The same way that you wanted transparency, you gotta be willing to offer transparency. Which brings me to the other thing I had a problem with in this cap-ass interview. He wasn't transparent. He talked all that shit about what held the fight up between him and Errol Spence was a lack of transparency. Now here's your chance to practice what you preach. And you like, one thing, the way you said it to them was like you were mad they even asked you, or like it's absurd to ask a question like that, like who's behind the money. One thing I'm not gonna do, what I'm not gonna do. He started stuttering and shit. He started stuttering and saying I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. And then when they begged him and they said, come on man, just give us something about who it is, because they want you to be credible. They don't want all the steam to be sucked out of the fight. You are sucking the steam out of the fight with these lies. They want the fight to still have some motion, and you the worst promoter on the planet. So they said, give us something, bud. Come on, man, tell us something about the money, bud. And you said, that's water under the bridge. You got a lot of stuff to say about Spence and speaking for him and hypothesizing on him, what ifing, all that, equivalating. But when somebody asks you a flat out question, flat out honest question, oh, that's water under the bridge. How's it water under the bridge when you was just talking about the situation a second ago? It's water under the bridge when it's time for you to be transparent about BLK Prime, right? And then you want to say, I'm fighting David Avanesian now. David Avalanche. David Avocado. You see this nigga running over here getting ran off. Like, come on, man. This dude is a cherry pick for anybody at 147. Anybody at 147. He a cherry pick. Yeah, I said it. Anybody at 147. Because nobody ain't picking them. He not a prospect. He not a title contender. He a cherry. He's sitting there, right, waiting to be picked. But it's right up Bud alley though, because he fight them other guys. He fight them weird guys. He don't fight the top guys. So he hopped on there and he capped hard about the whole situation. And then the last thing he said, which I'm gonna leave it at this before I get up out of here, because I don't got too much time to waste on DuckTales. Ooh. The last thing was he said he didn't tell them that he was negotiating with the Spence fight. He realized what he said and he tried to go back. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody was coaching him and they told him what to say, or he started to think for himself. I started talking to them and I think it was before June. And they was probably like, no, don't say that. And he was probably like, but I didn't really tell him anything about negotiating the Spence fight. I'm calling cap. And it's the reason I'm calling cap on that, right? The reason I'm calling cap is because the simple fact that he turned around and he say that he didn't tell them that he was negotiating the Spence fight. I'm not a boxing promoter or none of that. I'm just a regular boxing fan. How the fuck did I assume that he was negotiating the Spence fight? Wouldn't anybody assume that? How would ESPN assume that? How would Top Rank, how would the boxing world in general assume that? Because he called you out and you said that there was no more side of the street so you could make the fight, right? So how would anybody know, or not know rather, that you were negotiating the Spence fight? So for you to say that they were talking to you and then you turned around and you let them know that you were negotiating the Spence fight because you just quote unquote wanted to keep it real, which was another odd thing. I feel like, why would you say that? Why would you state it like that? Like, I just wanted to keep it real. It's like you act like you trying to give yourself these virtue points. That's just regular good business, bruh. That ain't no motherfucking shit you get no medal for or nothing like that. That's regular business, letting people know what's going on and different negotiations you got going on. Contracts have time schedules on them. You know what I mean? Like, it's time sensitive material in every financial contract. You already know that shit. So, I don't know. I'm gonna leave it at that, man. You was doing a lot of capping in the interview. And another thing I noticed is all the boxing channels that are associated with this fight you got coming up against David, I've been sneezing, David Avocado, as I call him, David Applebum, the Russian breakdancer. Look at him breakdancing. He was just finna hit his breakdance move right there. But all these fights you got coming up, right? Man, look. All these bum fights ain't shit. Nobody ain't finna buy it. And then none of the YouTubers that usually cover fights been saying nothing about your last interview, bruh. All the YouTubers that been siding with you. Oh, and you blamed YouTubers for your cap. But I'ma wait till the next video though. I'm up out of here, man. That's all I got for y'all. Like, hate, comment, subscribe to the channel. We got some more coming. We only going up. We only getting better. So yeah, let's make it happen. We working.